Fearfully and wonderfully made.
No doubt. Let's go to our next wildcard line, Robert in Ventura, California. Robert, you're up.
Hi, Cheryl and George. I read in a book that when a bad thing's going to happen to a presidential administration, some people see a black cat in the basement that's really more a ghost. It's a vision, not a real cat. And I wonder if she knew anything about that.
Okay, Cheryl, have we had any reports of black cats running around the White House?
I did come across something about a demon cat of some kind, but I don't really know the particulars about that. I mean, it certainly sounds superstitious, but, you know, superstitions are grounded in our human perceptions.
I wonder what the perception is, why black cats are perceived to be evil. They're cute.
They are. I've had black cats in my time, and they purr just as nicely as an orange tabby.
I would bet that Hollywood did something to that, don't you?
Well, I would suspect so. Those eyes they can be most arresting.
The White House has pictures, I believe, of every president. Is that true?
I believe so.
Have there been any haunted stories about the pictures, like the eyes move or anything like that?
I hope not. Now, in my book, what I had was that the spirit of Washington comes alive in his great Eastern portrait, the one that Dolly Madison saved from those British back in the summer of 1814, and he pulls a child who's there on a field trip into the portrait to give her a tour of the old place.
You're into animation and you're into designing. I don't know if you remember the old television animated show called Clutch Cargo. Remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember? I think, if I remember correctly, every picture was a still picture, but the lips moved.
Wow.
They had they superimposed real lips of people.
They need to creep story.
Yeah, and they moved a little bit. I'm wondering if the pictures ever do that in the White
Oh, God. The only thing I really know about the pictures is that when Theodore Roosevelt was living there, you know, he and his wife had 6 children, and there was a time when his 2 boys, Hank with the Kermit and Archie, were having a spitball fight, and the spitballs landed on Andrew Jackson's portrait, and Teddy made them rub them off.
You know, I would freak out more from a picture whose eyes
Oh, yeah.
than seeing the ghost of a president walk past.
I think I would, too. I think they did that in one of the old Andy Griffith episodes that scared Barney and Wilma half to death.
We'll go to Cambridge, Massachusetts. Peter's up with us. Peter, good morning.
I am George Spirit here in Washington. He constantly got news to prove. He takes a quarter as a portrait of George Washington. Okay?
All right.
It should be clearly outlined. He takes a different section in the face to the left and the general portrait of George Washington.
Not for crying out loud.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about America.
Not yet.
Yeah.
In California, you're up with what? Not yet. Let's go to Jeff, east of the Rockies in Ferguson, Missouri.
Oh, it's going George.
Good.
I think we're waiting for the vice president, or maybe a couple of the visions of the end of the United States. You know, when you happen to know which one they were. And,
well, I believe George Washington had a similar vision a long time ago, before he became president. I think it was before he was the president, wasn't it? The visions of George Washington.
That made nothing?
We did. I'll pull that out because some of us are pretty tired. Let's go to Sue in California, west of the Rockies. Hi, Sue.
Hello.
Thanks for calling.
I was wondering if any legitimate, ghost hunting organizations have gone to the White House with their equipment to check for the ghosts in
Good
there.
question. Have they even been allowed in, Cheryl?
Well, that's what I don't know that they have, and perhaps for that very reason. I mean, they are certainly, justifiably obsessed with notions of security, but if ever there would be a place to launch such an investigation, that would absolutely be it.
Nancy Reagan was was into astrology and psychics. She was huge. Were any of the other, the president or the first lady, any of them into that too?
Well, of course, Mary Lincoln, especially after Willie died, was just, actually, I think, yesterday was the anniversary. He passed away on the 20th of February, 1862. So we're coming up next year. It'll be 150 years since that little boy died. And she was that she had seances conducted and trying to make contact. And I did come across someone claimed to have sensed the spirit of Willie Lincoln there in the White House. And now Maureen Reagan said that she saw the spirit of Abraham Lincoln. And it said that President Reagan claimed that his dog, just barked, madly outside the door of the Lincoln bedroom, which had been Lincoln's cabinet room during Lincoln's administration. And it said that Fowler, Franklin Roosevelt Scotty, seemed a bit nervous about Lincoln's bedroom as well.
Yeah, our science advisor, Richard C. Hoagland, sends us a message, says that George Washington was a general at the time at Valley Forge when he had his visions of prophecy.
Wow.
He envisioned the end of the United States.
Oh my God, 2012, right?
I'm going to pull that out because I want to see how appropriate that is to what's going on today.
Right. Well, and of course later on as the nation was established, they were well aware of their tenuous situation, that it continues to be an ongoing experiment in self-government, and we're always a bit on the blade of the knife.
Well, that's Mary in Sandpoint, Idaho, first-time caller. Hi, Mary, go ahead.
Hi. Hi, Georgie.
Hello.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be on the phone with you guys. You just talked about my very favorite subject, which is spirits and ghosts.
You got it.
Yeah. Because they hang around. I have animals, many animals that die in my house, and I can feel their little cold motions on my ankles. About them.
Do you see her pottering sometimes, walking on the bed or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. I had the lights out, and I saw one of those cats and just pop up and come around me. They thought they had such a good home that they never left.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So what do you think, Mary, causes the ghosts at the White House to still hang around?
I think that they just took their job very seriously.
And they wanted to get reelected.
And they didn't want to leave.
They didn't want to go. They wanted to stay in office forever.
Yes, no term, no ending term, right?
No popularity polls. No nothing.
No.
Just hang around. Okay, Mary, thanks for your call. How do you do your research, Cheryl? How did you do your research into the
I
ghost
spent a lot of time at libraries, and I certainly went to the White House a couple of times, and there have not been as many sightings in the White House. First the place was gutted and restored back during Truman's administration, but even though the whole inside of the place has been completely rebuilt, and that might have jangled, those on the spiritual plane. But regardless of all of that, when you walk through that front door in the north portico, you know that all of these remarkable individuals, and our passing through that door, even Washington himself, visited the White House on the 14th of March, 1797, on his way home to Mount Vernon from Philadelphia.